Okay, let's begin. Mechanics is divided into A, space and time, B, matter and motion, finite mechanics, i.e. relative motion, and C, absolute mechanics, or absolutely free motion, qua the solar system. Here we will see how matter forms itself into the bodies of the solar system. Again, let me remind you that our treatment is just an introduction to the philosophy or science of nature that will provide simply the basic tools enabling you to understand this highly important work. So, let's start with A, space and time, which also includes place, motion, and matter. Indeed, the main concern here is the deduction of matter, the reason why matter must exist, as well as motion. Our first question is not what is space, but rather why is space, or as Hegel calls it, self-externality. The simplest explanation, which Winfield and Maker also concur on, is that all determination is negation. That is, you can't have a domain of pure thought, inwardness, and non-extension, i.e. logic, without a contrasting, complementary domain simultaneously existing of externality, extension, or space, that is nature. Thus, given thought, or the idea as thought or inner, there must also necessarily exist space, being defined as 1. Self-externality, in which everything is outside of everything else, no 2 points of space coinciding, and 2. Indifference, where nonetheless there is no difference between any 2 points in space, each point being the same, since as yet we have no qualities or qualitative distinctions pertaining to spatial points. However, because space is in contradiction with the truth as revealed in logic, namely unity, where points or moments do not exist outside of one another, space must negate or transcend itself, i.e. undergo aufheben or sublation, and become time, which is the perpetual self-negation of space. That is, each time we advance from one moment to the next moment, all of space, all of its infinity of parts or points, all externality and indifference gets negated. 2 points in passing. First, it is circular motion that reveals not only that the truth and goal of time is the past, but that past, present, and future, before, after, and now are the same or one. As Hegel says at paragraph 214 Zusatz, quote, "This return of the line is the circle. It is the now, before, and after which have closed together in a unity, so that before is equally after, and vice versa." Circular motion is the spatial unity of the dimensions of time. The point proceeds towards a place which is its future, and leaves one which is the past. But what it has left behind is at the same time what it still has to reach. It has been already at the place which it is reaching. Its goal is the point which is its past. And this is the truth of time, that the goal is not the future, but the past. Second, in the last analysis, time is an illusion. That is, only eternity or the eternal now exists. Hegel writes on page 36, quote, eternity will not be, nor has it been. It is. Also, see Hegel's Phenomenology, page 492, Miller, where Hegel says, quote, time is abolished with the full actualization of the concept. Therefore, we now have the fusion or unity of space and time, which can also be called space-time, the two being inseparable. And this 100 years before Einstein. And there are three forms of this unity of space and time. The first is place, as the unity of here, or space, and now, or time, which of necessity leads to the second unity of space and time, motion, or change of place. That is, as Hegel states, since all places are the same, there being no difference between one place and another, there is no more reason to remain in this place than in the next or adjacent place. The result is motion, or change of place. Hence, it is motion that unites the first three categories of nature, bringing space, time, and place together. For example, in the equation, distance equals rate times time, or space equals motion, velocity, times time, we have point A and point B, 10 feet apart. Okay? So if we're moving fast, we can traverse the space in 1 second. If we're moving very slow, we can traverse A and B in 1 year. Okay? Matter is the third unity of space and time. Simply put, since there must be motion, there must be matter. As Hegel says, quote, there is no motion without matter, without something that moves. And this is the deduction of matter, which parallels the deduction of being in logic. That is, being and nothing correspond to space and time, becoming corresponds to motion, and being there, Dasein, corresponds to matter. Becoming or motion coming to rest or stability as matter. So, we have now deduced matter and motion, which is the title of section B, also subtitled Finite Mechanics. That is, we must first deal with matter in relative or conditioned motion before dealing with matter in absolutely free and unconditioned motion, or self-moving matter, i.e., as the planets move around the sun. In finite mechanics, matter and motion, which Newton never got beyond, we have first inert matter. A body A will not move or change its place unless acted upon by an external force or body. Then secondly, thrust, where body A moves as a result of body B acting upon it. Then thirdly, falling, when body A moves as a result of an external force acting upon it. Here we have the beginning of gravity, qua attraction, but not yet qua repulsion as well.